Hello everyone and welcome to the next episode in the series of Free Introduction to Drawing, and in this video we will be talking about developing your imagination, developing what the old masters had when I don't know, when they, 3, 4, 500 years ago they have received a commission to paint a massive fresco, a battle scene, a religious scene, whatever it was. And they had to come up with a composition for something that would deliver, that would match the order, the desired effect. They had to come up with the composition of the figures, their size, their arrangement, the appropriate anatomy, the whole 9 yards. Um, how did they do it? How were they able to do this? I mean, clearly they used models when it came to figure out the particular figure or gesture. Clearly they were doing that, but to start off, they all just started with some sketches, with just throwing around some ideas of what it might be that would capture the mood, the destination. And in this video, what I would like to do is just to talk about some very simple um, techniques of how to train your imagination to be able to do that. And I'm just going by really just by not very carefully throwing around some shapes, some thoughts, and I don't actually have anything in particular in mind, which I suppose makes it a bit easier. But really the point of it is you don't really wait with all this till you have a commission and then you need to come up with solutions. You do this on a regular basis. You come up with an idea and then you try to match it with appropriate um, imagery. Design I don't know, in this case, let's say this is going to be a seated figure in some sort of relaxed manner. Um, and of course, it's not needed for you to be anatomically accurate in sketching like this, in just throwing ideas around. All of that can be worked out later, and if you don't have a model, you can take up the pose yourself, and you can have a look in the mirror. What is it that you're doing, how your body looks. You can feel the pose for yourself. um, to be able to gauge the distribution of weight, the effects of gravity. Um, this should be something that you should be doing all the time, kind of um, just throwing ideas around. And what it really does, it also, you're constantly training your hand, you're training your knowledge, your understanding, and believe me, at some stage when you come to a particular point, a particular limb, and you cannot figure out how it works, you will go and look it up in an anatomy book. So it's constant learning, it's constant clarifying of what it is um, that you would like to express, what works for you. Another thing that as I said in the written introduction, that it's kind of it's really useful to spend some time on these ideas, to think about them, to ponder them, so to speak. It's drawing is a cumulative thing. I said that is a few times, I believe now. And any moment that you spend on it, that you spend on thinking um, how these things are done, how would you do it, and you don't necessarily have to have a pencil in your hand when you do that. You can just go over these things in your mind. You know, what is that muscle that comes after that, and what happens when it's flexed, and so on and so on. It kind of, I suppose, it becomes a way of life, and you do it automatically. You look at people, and you observe all the time. You kind of build your image library of the body, of gestures, of facial expressions, and so on and so on. So anyway, and that's what you would do. And maybe there could be another figure there, just having this on the knee there, this hand, something like that, and just trying to, maybe maybe it's a pub scene, there's a table, and they're just talking some stuff. It's extraordinarily rewarding to work out these relationships, and clearly you're not drawing just one body. Then you have to think about how the two bodies relate, what is happening, how the sizes, the proportions, um, to make it work, to make it believable, to make it convincing, um, and so on and so on. There's a bit of foreshortening there. He's got his leg there, the other leg is there somewhere. Now, the way how you get there, and one of the ways how you get there is, I'll just turn this off. You might have noticed that if you look at some kind of a abstract pattern, uh, something like tiles in a waiting room when you're waiting for an appointment, for example, or out in the nature you look at gravel or something like that. There's a lot of imagery that can trigger your imagination, and you start developing these visual concepts, these visual ideas. Um, for example, just there's quite a nice face there. Um, and it doesn't have to be nice. It doesn't have to be um, polished drawing. It's just letting your imagination flow, and just see things in it's like looking at clouds, and you can see all kinds of magical creatures and shapes, and it's exactly the same thing, but this way you can kind of, you get to draw them. Or for example, here I can kind of see a dog, of all things. That's the nose. That would be the head somewhere. Let's say the eye. There would be an ear somewhere. Another ear there. Maybe the chest, something like that. And then it really just gets you started, and then you can work out what it is. You can push it forward, you can cut back, you can just, it's supposed to be very playful, very relaxing, and simple. just a bit of an exercise. Um, but it's extremely useful. It's extremely useful because it trains your imagination, and trains your subconscious to look at these patterns, recognize them, and it will become second nature for you to do that. And you will recognize, uh, when you look at model, when you draw from life, it will help with actually determining the shapes that you're drawing. I mean, this is a kind of a dog, not really a dog, but it's just literally just trying to see things in the chaos, in the meaningless pattern. Um, there's another one there. It's a nose. It's a screaming mouth. A bit of a scene on the bridge. So you can take some images of some patterns, so dirt, the side of the road, and you can do this on a computer. You can just look at it and draw on a piece of paper what pops up. Often there are floor coverings that have kind of repeating patterns in all kinds of directions. They are also very good. Anything that introduces this kind of a chaos where it's your imagination that fills it in, uh, and therefore by filling it in, it gets trained. It's get to see things. There you go. What else? Um, for some reason I see all kinds of faces mainly. Um, this could be a kind of a odd creature. And you will see bodies and bits and pieces. I think it kind of works in reverse. It's whatever you spent your time with recently. It's kind of the subconscious brings it forward and brings more imagery like the ones that you spend time with to match it up, because it's fresh in your memory, in your mind. Yeah, that's about it. So it's a good exercise. Do a little bit of it, and you will see how all kinds of magical things will pop up, crop up, and sure, if it takes your fancy, work it out in more detail from a model, or from the image of yourself in the mirror, or through anatomy books, or in a multitude of ways it's possible to do it. Um, but I would highly advise to do this kind of exercise. It's fun. There's no competition. Um, there's no way how it can be kind of detrimental in a way of oh, I can't do it, or it's too hard to do, because it doesn't really matter what it looks like. I mean, look what I'm doing, just scribbling away. but it does give you a good exercise for your imagination. All right, there you go. So I'll see you with the next video.